Hello gamers, we are back with another amazing video for you guys, and if you're a true gamer, then this should excite you because we'll be talking about none other than Big Game Studio. The rise, the survival, and lastly, the heartbreaking downfall. So don't forget to subscribe if you're new and hit the like button if you're a true gamer. Big Game Studio is a group which is owned by Built Into Games. Their other developers include Forever Dev and Aspirinator. They currently have around 4,150,000 members. They have some impressive numbers which include 4 billion different gaming sessions, 6 million active daily users, and most of all, 850,000 current players peak. They are most popular for their games such as Build and Survive, Big Paintball, and My Restaurant. They also have another group which goes by the name Big Game Simulator, whose most popular games are Pet Simulator, Pet Simulator 2, and Pet Simulator X, which I will be discussing about in another video of Startup Blox to let you guys know about all the hype of Pet Simulator X. We are in a remarkable era for independent video games. The democratization of tools and distribution has opened up creative possibilities and routes to market for a whole range of creators and provided an incentive for flourishing of new studios, which ranges from one-person bedroom operations up to relatively well-bankrolled groups of development mature shivering off to go it alone. The success stories of different groups which made it to the headlines have put a gleam in the eye of everyone who's ever dreamed of making games for a living. Minecraft's billions makes it the most successful of them all, but fortunes have been made at the second and even third tier of big games commercial success too. From their origins on the PC, big games creators have found themselves more than welcome on console platforms. And some of the world's most successful mobile developers have their roots in big games, rather than traditional publishing backgrounds. The problem with this kind of success, especially when it comes so rapidly, is basically that it creates a gold rush mentality. A few people create enormously successful big game studio games, the scale of the opportunity becomes clear. And suddenly the world is full of people who want to make the next Minecraft, or the next Cannibalt, or the next Undertale, or the next whatever. The vast majority have the finest of intentions, a genuine creative flame and a hunger to make something amazing, but in the gold rush mentality, those fine intentions can end up being seriously tainted by the expectations that are set. There is gold in those big game studio hills, which means that if you turn up with your pickaxe and all you strike is silver or copper, you can feel rather inferior than everyone else. Recently, a lot of people have been striking bronze or iron or tin. Even the developers themselves with past successes under their belts are finding that this can be a poor indicator of future performance. The gold is still out there, though indie revenues are hard to measure as they are spread across a wide variety of platforms and services. And there is no official definition of what constitutes Big Game Studio Roblox, so it gets a little blurry at the edges. Whether the fall of Big Game Studio is real or not, what its extent may be, those questions are largely academic. What is real and beyond debate is that for many big game studio developers, there has been a heartbreaking failure to perform to commercial expectations. A failure that is especially difficult to swallow and especially damaging in the case of studios which were enjoying significant success only a few years ago. When a new studio launches a game and it crashes down or burns? That's unfortunate, but that kind of attrition is expected. However, when an experienced studio such as Big Games watches revenue from subsequent titles collapse along a diminishing returns curve, that's potentially disastrous, especially if the company hired staff off the back of its early success. Whatever you believe about the brutal fall of big games, that kind of thing is happening, and it's happening with enough regularity to be worth addressing. The factors which contributed to the declining features of big games firstly includes failure to understand the need for and cost of marketing a game. A surprising number of very talented developers are guilty of sending their indie titles out to die, with absolutely no marketing spent or at least a strategy to back them up. In many cases, this is understandable. A small studio which barely scraped together the cash to make a game in the first place cannot afford to spend a lot of money on marketing. But there should be some kind of plan in place to promote the game through as many free channels as possible. Moving forward towards the second reason is also marketing related, but it's very specific. A failure to engage with or provide in-game support for streaming and other online video content. There is pretty much nothing that will do as much for sales of a good big game studio game as being featured by a popular streamer. Developers who tailor their games to work well in a streaming context, both technically and in content terms, perform very well commercially in general. One of the final reasons contributing to the fall is the failure of sequences to live up to the commercial success of their predecessors. So that's it for today's video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to comment down below if you can think of any other reason as to why Big Game Studio, the Roblox company, failed. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you liked the video.